yourself. So, and give me the opportunity to welcome you. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण नीना माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम शिला प्रभुपाद की जय गुरु महाराज की जय प्रीतिदासी from Charlotte. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Preeti Devi Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances, Mata. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. All glories to your wonderful chanting, Mataji. Please keep giving us your association. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Arvind Das from Chicago. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Arvindash Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances, Prabhu. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining regularly Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call, Prabhuji. Please keep giving us your association. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, and all the assembled devotees. This is Yashamati Priya Devi Dasi from Chicago.
Hare Krishna, Yashomati Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances, Mata. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharajas. All glories to all the wonderful assembled devotees that are here, Mataji. Thank you so much for your chanting, Mataji. Please continue to join Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. Welcome.
Hare Krishna, Nina Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vanita Gandharvika Devidasi from College Station, Texas. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Mataji, Dandavat Pranam Mata, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Thank you so much for your devotion. Thank you so much for your wonderful association, and all glories to your beautiful service that you do every day, Mataji. Thank you so much for joining. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Nina Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, and all the glories to the assembled devotees. This is Manjri Leela Devidasi from Naperville. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Manjari Leela Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances, Mata. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for your wonderful chanting. I always love to hear your chant, Mataji. And thank you so much for your kind association. Welcome.
Hare Krishna, Nina Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. All grace to Prabhupada, all grace to Guru Maharaj, all grace to assembled devotee. This is Mohini Lakshmi from Detroit.
Hare Krishna, Mohini Lakshmi Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances, Mata. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for your association every day, Mataji. It's so inspirational. Please keep joining Bhakti Sangha. Hare Krishna. Devotees, we are very blessed to have His Holiness Bhakti Dhira Damodar Maharaj, who will be joining us shortly. Prior to his joining, I'll borrow a few moments from you and give a brief introduction about him. So, His Holiness Bhakti Dhira Damodar Swami Maharaj was born in Oko, Odama. He grew up as a Roman Catholic. From a very young age, he has been very spiritually minded, and he studied the Bible intensely with the sole aim of understanding God and his entire creation. He once asked his Bible teacher about the concepts of reincarnation and karma, and the teacher in anger told him that his questions were unbiblical. Not satisfied with the response, he started searching for answers in other faiths. In 1980, he came in touch with Hare Krishna movement. In 1985, he received formal initiation from His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj, a disciple of Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of International Society of Krishna Consciousness. And he received then later his Brahman initiation, which is the second initiation, in the year 1986. On 25th March 2005 in Mayapur, India, he was awarded the Renounce Order of Life and given the name Bhakti Dhira Damodar Swami Maharaj by His Holiness Jai Pataka Swami Maharaj. And from 2011, he also started serving in the capacity of an initiating spiritual master. How wonderful! We are so fortunate that His Grace, His Holiness will be joining us shortly. But until He joins, devotees, please continue to unmute yourself and announce your name, and allow me to welcome you on this beautiful platform. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. This is Bhagavatam.
Haribol Balvrinda, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for your beautiful chanting. And thank you to your wonderful, all glories to your so much dedication. Welcome. Please keep joining.
Hare Krishna, Nina Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Shyama Guru Devidasi from Charlotte.
Hare Krishna, Shamaguri Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for kindly hosting Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. I noticed today we are very blessed. I noticed His Holiness Candramauli Swami Maharaj has joined. Haribol. Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all our Guru Maharajas. All glories to your wonderful association. Maharaj, do you want me to go ahead and give a brief introduction about you, or should we go ahead straight with the Srimad Bhagavatam Katha? I cannot hear you, Maharaj. I apologize, devotees. We had a slight change in our speaker. So our today's keynote speaker is going to be His Holiness Chandramauli Swami Maharaj. Chandramauli Swami Maharaj Ji Ki Jai. Maharaj, should I go ahead and give a brief intro about you?
No, go
No?
on with the verse.
Maharaj, today we will continue, with your kind permission, from Canto 8, Chapter 3, Verse 16.
Someone else was supposed to give class today?
That's what I was under the impression, Maharaj.
I never said I wasn't giving class.
I know we would love to have you. We are so fortunate to have such wonderful, great Maharajas, like Swamijis like yourself and others joining us and trying to enlighten us.
If you keep praising me, I'm gonna drop off here.
No, Maharaj, it's
No,
at
listen.
least I can say a few words, good thing about you. It's going to be beneficial for me.
But not for me.
It's all your kindness, Maharaj. Whenever you're ready. Hare Krishna.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Gunarani Chana Chit Usmapaya Tatsoba Vispurjita Manasaya Naiskarmya Bhavena Vivarjitat Gama Swayam Prakasaya Namaskaromi. Translation. My Lord, as the fire of Aaronic wood is covered, you and your unlimited knowledge are covered by the material modes of nature. Your mind, however, is not attentive to the activities of the modes of nature. Those who are advanced in spiritual knowledge are not subject to the regulative principles directed in the Vedic literatures. Because of such advanced souls are transcendental, you personally appear in their pure minds. Therefore, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. In the Bhagavad Gita, it says, 10:11, Tesham evanukam partam maham jnana jam tamaham nasyaya matma bhavasto jnana dipena basvata. For a devotee who has taken the lotus feet of the Lord within his heart. The Lord gives spiritual enlightenment known as Jnana Deepa by special mercy from within. This Jnana Deepa is compared to the fire hidden within Narani wood. Perform fire sacrifices, great sages previously did not ignite a fire directly. The fire would be invoked by Arani wood. Similarly, all living entities are covered by the modes of material nature, and the fire of knowledge can be ignited only by the Supreme Personality of Godhead when one takes him within one's heart. Savai Mana Krishna Padara Vindayo. If one takes seriously the lotus feet of Krishna, who is seated within one's heart, the Lord eradicates all ignorance. By the torch of knowledge, one immediately understands everything properly by the special mercy of the Supreme Lord and becomes self-realized. In other words, although a devotee may externally not be very well educated because of his devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead gives him enlightenment from within. The Lord gives enlightenment from within. How can one be in ignorance? Therefore, the allegations of the Mayavadis that the path of devotional service is for the unintelligent or uneducated, this is not true. Yasya bhaktir bhagavati akinchana savai gunastata samastate sura. If one becomes an unalloyed devotee of the Supreme Lord, he automatically manifests all good qualities. Such a devotee is above the instructions of the Vedas. He is Paramahansa. Even though without going through the Vedic literature, the devotee becomes pure and enlightened by the mercy of the Lord. Therefore, my Lord, the devotee says, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Om Gyan Timirandasya Gana Jana Salakaya Chaksun Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Go down to the purport. Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Staptitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadammayam Dadati Swam Padantikam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasnaya Bhutale Srimakte Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namini Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nivasesa Sunyavari Pastyatya Satarine Vanchakopa Tarubhischa Kripa Sindhu Paebacha Ditanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namaho Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So the Lord is situated within the hearts of all living entities. And he's constantly dictating to those living entities how they can come back to him. But due to the association of the material energy, the three modes of material nature, that ability to hear the Lord and within the heart is covered. Therefore, if one engages in devotional service to the Lord, gradually they purify themselves from these material coverings and gradually awaken their natural spiritual consciousness, which on a certain level of development, one can connect with Krishna within the heart. Krishna is there within the heart. He is called Antaryama. For those who can't understand Krishna in the heart or cannot hear Krishna in the heart, he comes in the form of scripture. He comes in the form of the spiritual master. And in that way, he enlightens from without. So it is also explained that the Lord enlightens from within and from without. But as one becomes more fixed and purified in their process of devotional service, then one can take direct instructions from the Lord from within. And this is of course, it is not a beginning stage of bhakti, it is more of a developed stage of bhakti. There are two types of pure devotees. One who has become fully purified from all material contamination, all desires to enjoy this material world, by the power of their execution of devotional service under the guidance of the spiritual master. They are called pure devotees. There's another kind of pure devotee who hasn't become purified from all material contamination, but has developed a pure desire to become free from material contamination. This person still has material desires, but they don't act upon them. Therefore, they remain fixed in their devotional service, even though they may not be fully purified in consciousness. And therefore, they can also, and hear with the Lord within the heart because of their pure desire. So it is incumbent, as Prabhupada says here, even, if one takes seriously the lotus feet of the Lord within one's heart, the Lord eradicates all ignorance. So, of course, generally, we get that ignorance eradicated through Guru, through Sadhu, through Shastra, through the external manifestations of Krishna, coming in that way. But we also want to go to the level where at every moment we are connected with Krishna. And we can do that if we purify our desire to not engage in any material activities and associate with devotees on a regular basis. One can also develop what is called pure intention. I want to become a pure devotee. Therefore, even though I may have an inclination to enjoy this material world, I refuse to act on that inclination. In other words, one becomes fixed in a desire of devotional service. They're on the platform of Nishta, maybe even on the platform of Ruchi. And although material desires may still present themselves as attractions to the participant, they simply reject those attractions and they stay fixed in their Krishna consciousness. And then they can also connect with Krishna in the heart to some degree. And so the Lord is so merciful. He always makes various types of endeavors to bring the conditioned souls back to him in loving devotional service. Therefore, he is considered to be exceedingly kind in his relationship with his devotee. The devotee makes the effort, the Lord reciprocates according to that effort, and he even goes out of his way sometimes, even when a devotee doesn't make an effort. If he sees that there's a little desire for that devotee to attain him, the Lord will make arrangements. Sometimes he frustrates our material desires by giving us some kind of suffering. And sometimes we wonder, I'm a devotee, why am I suffering? Well, because these sufferings are sent by Krishna as ways to distract you from your desire to enjoy this material world, or frustrate your attempt to enjoy it in this material world. So, tate nukampa shushamikshamanam bhujaneva kritam vipakam vidvava hubir vidadanamaste jiveti yot mukti padesha dayabak. So this verse from the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 14, verse number 8, is spoken by Lord Brahma, where he explains that sometimes the devotee is put into difficult situations by the Lord. And it appears that the devotee is struggling. But then the devotee understands that this this difficult situation that I've been put in is simply orchestrated by the Lord to bring me closer to him in loving devotional service. So he accepts that as the mercy of the Lord, prays to the Lord, that he thanks the Lord for giving him this opportunity of some difficulty, which causes that devotee to become more and more devoted to the Lord and surrender more and more to the Lord. And if he prays like that, the verse says, Mukti Padesha Dayabak, that one is guaranteed to go back home, back to Godhead at the end of life. So if we always look for things that are nice in devotional service, we actually miss the process of purification. Because Krishna may put his devotee in difficulties just to purify him, but he never leaves the devotee alone in those difficulties. He always shows them that this difficulty is just simply due to your material attachments, and therefore he comes and he gives his shelter and to the devotee accepts that shelter and makes more and more advancement. He's situated within the heart, as he says, as it's mentioned here, but he also mentions in Bhagavad Gita, Sarvashityaham Riddhistani Visto. Sarvashityaham Riddhistani Visto. Jnana, he gives knowledge, he gives forgetfulness. You want to forget Krishna, he'll help you. If you want to remember Krishna, he'll help you. If you want to, if you want knowledge, he helps you. He's situated in your heart, and he'll work through the external energy to fulfill your desires accordingly, or he may even give it to you directly as his mercy within the heart. So this is the mercy of the Lord. Therefore, even it says here, even if a devotee is not very well educated, because of his devotional service, the Lord gives him enlightenment from within. So what is the qualification? Simply a desire to free oneself from material entanglement and to engage in loving service to the Lord. So if we want to be successful in devotional service, we have to become, free from all other desires other than the desire to serve and please the Lord through devotional service. That desire fulfills all other desires automatically. As Srila Prabhupada would say, if you have $1 million, you have $1,000, you have $100, you have $1. The perfection of spiritual life fulfills all of one's desires perfectly, completely, and even eternally. So there's no need to waste time trying to fulfill our material desires in order to accomplish something on this material level. If we engage in devotional service by the Lord, everything automatically is taken care of. As it's explained in this verse, Yasyasti Bhakti Bhagavati Kinchana Suvaya Gunas Tatra Samastase Tura. And this verse is from the 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 18th chapter, verse number 12. It is a very powerful verse, and that one who engages in devotional service has all the good qualities of the demigods automatically there within their body. In other words, all of the good qualities of the demigods could become manifested in the body of the devotee as he executes devotional service. So there's no need to go anywhere else for any kind of solution for any type of problem. Everything is there within devotional service, because devotional service encompasses everything. As Krishna is called Mula, Mula means root. When you water the root, the branches, the trees, the bark of the tree, the branches, the leaves, the twigs, the flowers, Whatever is connected to the root gets the benefit of the watering process. Therefore, simply by engaging in devotional service to the Lord, we become free from all of our suffering and entanglement in material life, which is the cause of suffering. We become enlightened in our relationship with the Lord. We become truly happy, and we qualify ourselves to leave this material world and turn to the spiritual world. This returning to the spiritual world is returning back home. That's why it says back home, back to Godhead. It doesn't say back to Godhead. It says back home, back to Godhead. The soul has no home in the material world. Why? Because the soul is spiritual and the material world is of another nature. But we've fallen into this material world simply because of our desire to be separate from the Lord and in the mood of trying to enjoy separately from the Lord. And therefore, we have to correct this anomaly through the process of devotional service and get back to our true nature. We see in the material world, people make so many plans to become happy in this material world. And it's all about making arrangements for some personal comfort, some position, some relationships, all of these things. This is the ongoing process of the material energy, is that the people want to be happy and they work hard in so many ways in different aspects to fulfill that desire for happiness, for comfort, for success, for security. But all of them ends in frustration, and even during the time, just like it says, when you act on a material desire, you create two things. You create a particular relief from the frustration you may be undergoing, but at the same time, you plant another form of suffering by that material activity. Because material activities are dualistic. What does it mean, dualistic? Just like a coin has two sides, the heads and the tails. You can't find a coin with one side. It's not a real coin. So material energy is whatever happiness you get in material life, and it's very insignificant. You get a concomitant amount of suffering that comes along with that automatically, because that is the nature of the material world. The more successful you are in material life, the more you suffer, because you have to eventually give up that success in due course of time. The more you become happy by material desires, the more you actually suffer as time goes on. So a devotee thinks, why waste my time trying to fulfill material desires? Let me just engage in devotional service. And therefore, that is the path back home, back to Godhead, and the freedom from all suffering, even while one is in the material world. We like to associate with other people. That is part of life. We make association with others as a big part of our happiness in this material world. And that is actually true. Relationships are the basis of happiness, or actually the success of life. But why not create a relationship with Krishna, who's in the heart of all living entities, who's trying to make that relationship with us come alive again through his mercy. Therefore, he's dictating to all of us, come back to me. Why waste time trying to enjoy something that in due course of time you lose? And so this is Krishna's mercy. He's situated within the hearts of all living entities. And that's amazing, because you see how many different kinds of living entities are there. As it's described, there are 8,400,000 species. There's 5 categories of living entities, which make up the 8,400,000 species. And even within the human species, there's 400,000 different types of humans, all the way up from the demigods down to various types of demons and all in between, which cover all of the planetary systems in the entire material universes. So, but Krishna's in the heart of all of them. He's in the heart of the ant. He's in the heart of the microbe. He's so, what you might say, enthusiastic to bring back the fallen living souls that he makes so many arrangements for us to connect with him in different ways. And this antaryami, or we call it super soul, is a very special manifestation of the Lord. He stays with us constantly within our heart. Therefore, we say the closest person to us is Krishna. Because who could be more closer than someone who is situated in our heart? He is the closest person. But we're looking outward and trying to find happiness in a place where it is just a hard struggle for existence. When Krishna says, just turn your attention to me within the heart, and then you'll find everything you're looking for in life and more. And you also develop love for me, which is the perfection of life. Prema Pumartha Mahan Mahan. There are 4 activities of the conditioned souls in the material world: to perform pious activities, to develop economic gain, to enjoy the senses in different ways, and to get frustrated by these activities and try for liberation or moksha. These are called purusharthas, the 4 activities of the conditioned souls. But then there's a 5th purushartha, which is called purushartha siromani. Siromani means precious gem, rare gem, and that is the precious gem of bhakti. So when we take to the platform of bhakti, we actually take to the form of the highest form of transcendental happiness, transcendental knowledge, and ultimately the future of our existence is no longer struggling with these modes of material nature. We can again regain our position in the spiritual world. Each one of us has a position in the spiritual world, and Krishna is waiting for you to get back there so you can fulfill that position. Krishna enjoys exchanging loving relationships with each and every soul. That is his position. He likes to exchange loving relationships with each soul, and therefore he's always eager to bring us back in loving devotional service. So this mercy, as described in this verse, is the highest form of mercy. The Lord is situated within in the heart, and he's enlightening, giving pure knowledge, and directing it. And then as Prabhupada ends the verse, the devotee says, "My dear Lord, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you."
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Maharaj, there is a little confusion today. Like I was informed by Srimati that you are not coming today to give class.
Miscommunication.
Yeah. But we have Bhakti Dhira Damodar Swami Maharaj on call today. And he was supposed to give class.
Oh. I never told her I wasn't giving class. I said, I'm not sure if I'll give class. And then this morning I wrote to her about 5 hours ago saying that, yes, I'll be giving class. It was...
I didn't get that information, Maharaj.
I did tell her I wasn't sure because of my particular situation. But if you want to continue with Maharaj, you can. Is he still there?
Yeah, he is there.
Hey, Maharaj. Sorry for preempting you.
No. That was Krishna's arrangement to hear from you.
Maybe they can reschedule Maharaj for tomorrow.
Tomorrow, Maharaj might be traveling. We don't know. To Sadhu Sangha.
All right.
We'll
Well,
see.
maybe you can have Maharaj answer all of the questions.
No, I have a question, Maharaj.
Okay.
Mm. Three, huh? Okay. It is. Yes, Maharaj, my question is right from the Bhagavatam 18, 16.
From the purport, the question?
Yes, the question is from the purport. It is mentioned that a Krishna is covered by knowledge. So I was interested to hear what could be the meaning of this. Krishna is covered by knowledge.
Maybe that knowledge is referring to nescience, material knowledge.
Okay.
That's the only time true knowledge reveals Krishna. Knowledge in relationship to the three modes of material nature covers Krishna. So I would say it refers to the material covering, material knowledge, the knowledge of, well, of course, knowledge has different categories, but transcendental knowledge reveals Krishna. But
Yeah.
knowledge,
Your unlimited knowledge are covered by the material modes of nature.
yeah. That knowledge is a feature of the material modes of nature. And so there's different categories of material knowledge, knowledge in the modes of ignorance, passion, and goodness, all succeedingly more higher and developed. But even knowledge in the mode of goodness can slightly reveal Krishna, but not completely. In terms of the nature of the devotee's relationship with Krishna. But it cannot give he cannot give knowledge of Krishna. Knowledge of Krishna is transcendental. It's above the three modes. Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Maharaj. Wonderful. Are you coming to Sadhu Sangha, Maharaj?
Yes, Maharaj.
Oh, good. I'll see you there too.
Yes, I will see you there.
Good.
Thank you so much for your wonderful class. We are devotees. We are so fortunate to have two wonderful Maharajas joining us. So please go ahead and ask any questions that you might have. We have Abhishek Prabhuji. You had a question? Please go ahead, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, please accept my most humble senses. I'll go to Srila Prabhupada. Well, actually, I was reading Srimad Bhagavatam, and from there I have a question. Can I ask now?
Yeah, you're reading Srimad Bhagavatam.
And from there I have a question. So can I ask?
Of course. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So in 1.18.17, on a purpose, Srila Prabhupada wrote, a living being does not become a victim of sinful act until the act is actually performed. So I have a question that sometimes we actually do a Vaishnava Aparadh against a Vaishnava by thinking. But actually it is written that we do not get sinful acts until the act is actually performed. But actually we get something, means when we thought of some Vaishnava Aparadh, means against the devotee. So why it is so mad? I'm so confused.
Yeah, the verse is 118.7.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, well, yeah, 118.7. In that explains that this is a special consideration for Kali Yuga. That in previous ages, even if one commits some sinful thought or performs a sinful activity in the mind, then they get a reaction for that. But in Kali Yuga, only when you actually perform the activity do you get the reaction. But one should not consider that it's okay to keep negative, sinful activities within the mind because they can all anytime manifest in the form of speech or in the form of an activity. So one should become diligent to remove any negative thoughts, sinful thoughts, offensive thoughts by replacing it with something Krishna conscious, something transcendental. And that way, one will remain free from the tendency to commit these activities. So, in that purport, Prabhupada makes the point that this is the special feature of Kali Yuga. One is not responsible for negative thoughts in the mind. But don't leave them there.
Actually, Maharaj, sometimes we thought of some devotee and do a Vaishnava against them. So actually, we got that punishment against that. So why it is so?
Could you repeat that question again?
Sometimes we do a Vaishnava Pradh against a devotee by simply by thinking, but actually we got that punishment. So means why it is so?
The punishment is the negative consciousness. You suffer on the level of the mind, which is another form of suffering. So as soon as you think of something that is irreligious, offensive, or harmful, making some harmful statement towards others, you pollute your consciousness. And therefore, it becomes difficult to become Krishna conscious if you allow those thoughts to remain. So don't allow these thoughts to remain. If they come, sometimes you see a person and you see their faults, and you start thinking about their faults. Immediately look for their good qualities. Immediately replace that faulty consciousness with something either pious or something spiritual, either one. Mostly something spiritual. But try to understand the principle. If you go to that purport, Prabhupada explains that in this age of Kali, there is a concession because the age is so bad, one is not responsible for negative thoughts in the mind. Yeah. It says in other ages, simply, in this age, because the living beings are has given some special facility to them there. So by the will of a living being does not become a victim of sinful act until the act is actually performed. Yeah. In other ages, simply by thinking of performing a sinful act, one used to become a victim of the act. So in those first two lines, everything is given. But if you think of good, pious activities in this age, you get the credit for that. This is as it says here, in this fallen age of Kali, living entities are in an awkward position, and therefore some special facility is given to them by the Lord.
Thank you, Maharaj. I think we have His Holiness Bhakti Dhira Swamiji. You wanted to say something?
I'm sitting next to him, Maharaj. This is Shori, Hare Krishna.
Can you repeat again?
I have a question. I have a comment actually. This is Shori Das.
Oh,
Hare Krishna.
okay, Shauri. Haribo.
Haribo. So the problem is that there's the process of thinking, feeling, and willing. So if you don't quickly check yourself, then you're gonna be in trouble, because you'll be forced to do the act, the sinful activity, because you're thinking of it, and then you'll feel like doing it, and then you will do it.
Yeah, the principle of longevity works. The longer it stays, the stronger the desire to perform the activity increases.
So I was thinking of the shloka in the Bhagavad Gita, Jayato Vishayam Pungsam Tesu Vijayate.
Sangat Sanjayate Kamam.
That from, while contemplating the objects of the senses, then, eventually, lust and anger, and it's just a downhill. But then you have to take advantage of the Bhagavad Gita sloka, yato nishchalati manas chanchalam, from whatever and wherever the mind wanders, due to its flickering and unsteady nature, one must certainly withdraw it and bring it back under the control of the self.
Yeah, nice point. That's those two verses, 262 and 263, is the process of fall down. Contemplation is the initial stage. But your point is good, because don't let it stay. As soon as you recognize it, bring in something Krishna conscious into the mind. Immediately just start chanting Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you. Nice point, Sari. You're in North Carolina now?
Yeah, I'm here in Charlotte with Bhakti Damodar Swami.
Oh, okay. Wonderful.
We'll be coming and seeing you at Sadhu Sangha tomorrow.
Good. I'm also coming to Charlotte on the first weekend of June.
Yeah. You should come to Prabhupada Village and have some pizza.
Well, yeah, we can reminisce about the old days. We can ruminate on pizza and reminisce. Good, sounds good. Thank you.
We had Himangi Mataji. Would you like to go ahead and ask your question, Mataji?
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you for giving me the opportunity. Thank you to all the Maharajis on the call. My humble obeisances. Maharaj, you, in the class, you mentioned the shloka Tate Anukampa Susurishmano Vujane Vatma. So when I look at this shloka, I understand that the devotee is just tolerating all the bad things which are happening to the devotee, thinking that it's just the result of his bad karma, and he tolerates. So Maharaj, when I look at it, and I am saying, okay, I'm tolerating, but I am at the same time feeling hurt and feeling bad. So am I really tolerating and following this principle, or not?
Bhakti Dear Damodar Maharaj, you want to handle that one?
Please go ahead, Maharaj. I'm listening.
Okay. Well, you haven't surrendered to the meaning of the statement. You're doing it, but you're doing it in a reluctant way. But therefore, the verse actually says that the devotee who was put in that situation thanks the Lord, and then offers feeling prayers within the heart, within his heart, and says, "My dear Lord, actually, what you have given me is actually much less than what I actually deserve. So you won't be able to make that prayer if you are reluctant to accept the mercy as it comes." You have to accept that this particular verse refers to not to karma. It's not about karma. It's about the Lord's special intervention into the life of the devotee to bring him or her closer to him through some reverse in life. It has nothing to do with karma. It's done as a special mercy. So if we're feeling a little unhappy, we should somehow or others try to understand that this is another opportunity for me to make advancement in spiritual life by accepting this situation as an opportunity to increase my dependence on the Lord, my surrender to the Lord, my attachment to the Lord. For a devotee, everything's auspicious because they always take shelter of the Lord in both happiness and distress, not just distress also, but happiness also. Because happiness can also divert your attention away from Krishna. So it also could turn to be something that will be not irreligious, but it will be something to cause you to forget Krishna.
Thank you, Maharaj, so much. So, Maharaj, so this will come with practice. Initially, you conscientiously practice it, and then slowly you get to this point of surrender, right?
If we take shelter of the association of devotees, it becomes more and more easier to move forward when these situations appear. When we have to struggle alone, then we find that we get confused about how to respond to these situations. Take good association with devotees, and by the association of devotees, things become more easily understandable.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Haribol.
I see a lot of Matajis and devotees. You have raised your hand. Please feel free to unmute yourself. Was it Radha Jyoti Mataji the next, or Shweta Mataji, Sridevi Mataji? I'm trying to take it in order, but I apologize.
Just choose one.
Yeah.
Radha Jyoti Mataji was the
Radha
next
Jyoti.
Mataji.
Radha Jyoti Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you so much. Hare Krishna Maharajji, my question to you is, there is one observation I need to correct myself. So there was one family and they were very poor, and they one day they decided to give a treat to their only son, and they gave a good feast to him because they were earning on wages. And on that day, when they served him, he was not able to enjoy much. And at that incident really hit me as very strong. Then I was thinking, like, Srila Prabhupada also served us and he told us to go back home, back to Godhead. And I've seen that we are not, I'm not focused on that particular point So is this a disrespect that we are not focused on not going back home because we think that we are, or I think that I'm not eligible, or I'm not giving my 100% effort. So uh, is this how to deal with this? Like, this thought is still there, and it cripples a lot of time. So I just wanted to know what to do about these thoughts that are coming, and what to take an action about it.
Well, by cultivation of knowledge about the miseries of the material energy, and cultivation of the knowledge simultaneously of what is the nature of the spiritual world, we gain it, we increase our desire to go back home, back to Godhead through that knowledge. That's one way. The other way is a lot of devotees don't focus so much about going back to Godhead, but they focus on how best to serve the Lord. And that is what we say analogous to going back home, back to Godhead. So we might even say that a desire to go back home, back to Godhead is something personal, but to serve the Lord without any personal desire for one's personal gain in any way is even what we say the highest principle of devotional service. So if you focus on how best can I serve, how best can I execute devotional service in such a way as I make spiritual progress, that's perfect. And then if Krishna wants, he can take you back home, back to Godhead. You leave it up to Krishna to take you back to Godhead. If you have that desire, it's good. But higher than that is to simply want to serve the Lord wherever the Lord places us.
So Maharajji, then I started praying that, Lord, I'll do my best in every situation. I'll try to serve Vaishnavas, even non-devotees and the devotees, but you don't reject at any point, or don't let me go far away even if I fell. So is that prayer
Yeah,
fine?
yeah, yeah. My dear Lord, do whatever is necessary to keep me from straying away from your lotus feet. Because I know the shelter of your lotus feet is the perfection of my life. So I cannot I'm not looking for anything else but the shelter of your lotus feet, and that which indicates pure devotional service. Yeah. So you can pray like that. Queen Kunti, she prays, you know, that she's even saying, give me material calamities because it helps me to remember you. When everything is nice or going accordingly to my desires, I forget you. Or I have a tendency to forget you. So therefore, we don't have to play for calamities unless, I mean, if you want to, you can do that. But the best thing is simply to pray for pray to the Lord to keep us close to Him through the process of association with devotees and using all of our time to serve the Lord. That's perfection. That's all. Unless we have a tendency to, unless we have some knowledge of the horrors of material life, we'll still drift away into material life thinking there is something there that we can gain by fulfilling our desires. But when we understand clearly that there's no happiness in the material world, then it becomes more easier to stay close more natural to stay close to the lotus feet of the Lord. Therefore, it says one should have a healthy fear of the material energy or Maya. Devotees are fearless because they depend on Krishna, but they also develop a fear of falling back into the material energy, knowing that they'll lose the opportunity for the mercy of Krishna.
I agree. And one more question is, when I was trying to do devotional service, which was not planned, it was arranged. Then I did my best, and all those devotional service that I wanted to do, I'm facing a lot of obstacles during those services. And I saw that increased my prayers. Few of the devotional service were carried out fine. I mean, I was able to do, but few are still having lot of obstacles. So I'm not able to understand where I'm not able to give my best.
Yeah, Mom, do you are you taking guidance from anyone?
Yes, Maharaj ji.
Well, follow the guidance and then you'll know what to do and what not to do.
Okay, Maharaj ji. Eternally grateful to you. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna.
Shweta Mataji, you have your question, please.
Hare Krishna Maharaj and Hare Krishna my Guru Maharaj Bhakti Viraj Damodar Swami Guru Maharaj. Dhanvat Pranam to both of you. My humble and respectful obeisances to both of you. Maharaj, I have this question that there are many people in this world suffering from psychiatric illness. So, in many different kind of psychiatric illness are there in this world, and some are like ki, if you don't eat medicine, negative things keep on repeating in mind. So, why these psychiatric illness? In fact, most of the world they hide, but they are suffering from illness. Why these psychiatric illness happens? Is it we offended, did aparadhas in our previous janmas? Or and how to deal with this apart from medication? How to, as you said, we should not have negative and rubbish thoughts in mind. How should we deal with it when without our own will these things keeps on happening?
Maharaj, do you want to answer the your disciples' question?
The question is general, Maharaj. Go ahead.
Okay. The mind is an organ also. Like we have so many organs in our body that get sick, the mind also can get sick also. And there's different types of mental illnesses. So that happens, especially in this age we live in, where there's a lot of reasons or opportunities to become full of anxiety and distress just due to the way we live. We struggle very hard for the basic necessities of life, which are easily obtained by a more natural lifestyle. And therefore, there's a lot of anxiety and stress. And therefore, the mind will sometimes become, what we say, damaged, where anxiety becomes a feature of a person's activities. They're always anxious about everything they do, always because they have so much desire to enjoy something or fulfill a particular need, and therefore, because of that, they suffer. What will happen? What will happen? What will happen? And always thinking in that way. So for a devotee, I mean, there are certain cases where the mind gets so sick that certain medications are given. And I've seen, and this can be, discussed that in certain cases, this medicine will help and make it easier for the devotee to practice Krishna consciousness by relieving some of the stresses. But that you have to consult that with your spiritual master and how to go about that, if that is a personal concern. But people, take the different ways to somewhere overcome material distress, and they take up the wrong remedies or so-called remedies, and therefore they increase their anxiety or distress. So yeah, just like we take care of the physical body through various medications, we also have to take care of the mind also. So it doesn't, and the best way to get relief from stress is to depend on Krishna and chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. That way if material attachments cause us distress because we can't fulfill the desires for happiness through material attachments, so there's distress, there's anxiety, there's frustration, there's bewilderment. And we see people as our enemies rather than simply being there in our life. And then the mind can, as it says, the mind is a thing in itself and can turn heaven into hell and hell into heaven. The Bhagavatam explains, never trust your mind, always distrust, because the mind can trick you at any time. And so distrusting the mind means to act on according to the instructions of the spiritual master, according to the instructions given by Krishna in the scriptures.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. Sri Devi Mataji, do you have a question?
Thank you, Nina. Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Guru Maharaj, in this particular purport, it is said that devotee develops all good qualities. So my question is, in some situations which are very delicate and sensitive, how can one get the good intelligence and the good qualities one needs to handle that situation? Because many of us deal with people who are not into devotional service or have relatives who are not inclined towards devotional service. So when they have some calamity, they expect us to hanker and lament with them. And when we don't do that, we may come across as callous or indifferent, or, if we try to preach to them, then they say, oh, you're so hard-hearted, you're telling me this is all meaningless nonsense, this means so much to me, etc. So how can one be sensitive, at the same time give them some transcendental knowledge, because by not doing that, one is actually being violent towards them?
Well, I think you answered the question. You have to be sensitive, and you also have to be able to see the situation and see what will be the best way you can ameliorate their suffering. In some cases, you can give direct transcendental knowledge. In other cases, you can teach them how to change their activities, which will free them from the form of the suffering they're undergoing. So it's a matter of seeing the situation and acting accordingly. But if you're motivated to help, that is the initial step towards success. If you consider it simply a botheration, then you may not be able to do anything.
Yes, Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much. My obeisances.
Hare Krishna.
Ritamyi Mataji, you have a question?
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna Maharaj, Hare Krishna Shri Gurudev Dandavat Pranam. Thank you so much for this very wonderful discussion. I have a question coming from one of your answers, Maharaj, where you were mentioning about Tattenukampa, and in the answer, you were explaining that we have to also tolerate the happiness because it might also become a distraction. So I'm trying to understand two things here. One thing is, how can a sadhaka ever be happy before he has become a pure devotee? Like, and I'll once I get that answer, I'll go to my second question. That how can a sadhaka ever be happy if he is not yet a pure devotee? Means he's not yet with Krishna all the time.
Well, devotional service is the platform of happiness. Susukam kartam avyayam, Krishna mentions in the Bhagavad Gita. The process of devotional service brings happiness. Anytime you engage in devotional service and you please Krishna by that activity, you gain knowledge and you also gain some satisfaction, and in many cases, happiness. So you can experience happiness at any level in devotional service simply by pleasing Krishna. That's all. And Krishna is pleased simply by the desire to please him. So if you have a desire to please the Lord, that's very pleasing to the Lord. And because we're connected to the Lord, we're never disconnected to the Lord, and devotional service helps us to realize that connection. We can feel happy in it by serving the Lord, even if we're not on the level of pure devotion. If there was no happiness in devotional service until you became a pure devotee, how many people would stay? Nobody would stay.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. So just getting it clear for myself for the second question. So we are supposed to acknowledge happy feelings like happiness as they come in the process of executing devotional service. However, we should somewhere also cultivate a mood of that this is not the ultimate happiness. Is that so? Like, is it then that we progress in our Krishna consciousness, or is it like being ungrateful to Krishna that he's making you happy? So you either get settled by it, or else you just have that hankering in your heart to get something more, get something more, get something more until we are with Krishna.
Well, we want to be happy. And Prabhupada used to say, if you're not happy, you're in Maya. So devotional service is meant. What I was saying in reference to that verse is that we may look towards material energy for and see some kind of happiness that will come by performing a particular material activity. But because it's material, because it's not connected with Krishna directly, it diverts our attention away from surrender to Krishna and devotion to Krishna. That's the point I was making. But any happiness you experience in devotional service is Krishna's mercy. And to be happy is the goal of life. And Krishna is that supreme object where happiness is found.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Haribol, thank you.
Thank you.
Rita Mai. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Great questions, wonderful answers, and we are so fortunate to have both the Maharajas with us. Is it okay if we take a couple of questions from the chat, Maharaj?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll quickly run it through. So one is from Rishabh Prabhu. He is saying, Hare Krishna, Maharaj, it seems when we don't have taste for serving Krishna, we are trying to understand how much we will suffer more and when it will stop. Instead, how can I use this or any situation to surrender even more to the Lord? Thank you for reminding us, Gurudev, to see everything as Krishna's mercy to help us.
We shouldn't be motivated in devotional service by taste or by happiness. We should be motivated by duty. It's my duty to serve. It's my duty to engage in my duty to chant my rounds. It's my duty to read Prabhupada's books. And happiness will come by way of the activities, but we shouldn't be motivated by the principle of happiness. That's not a motivation. That's a byproduct of the activity only.
Thank you, Maharaj. One quick comment from, I don't have the name. It's coming up as iPhone. It says, Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. What happens when a devotee feels hurt by his Gurudev? How to communicate this to the Guru without offending him?
I think that one's for Bhakti Dear Damodar Maharaj. He's written a whole book about Guru. So he knows that answer very. So Maharaj, you take that one.
I think you should complete it if you want to hear from you. Get to hear, get the experience.
Your humility is making me feel uncomfortable.
Please go ahead.
Okay, what was the question again?
Question is how to communicate to one's own guru that the disciple is hurting in his or her heart. Is it even a good idea to communicate this to his own Gurudev, or should we not and just tolerate it?
What is the spiritual master there for? He's there to help, to assist his disciple by giving knowledge, by giving practical guidance in one's life so they can execute devotional service. So that's the purpose of the spiritual master. Why take on a spiritual master if when you have difficulties and you don't want to present the difficulties, you might find that the difficulties will only become more unless you get some answer or some direction in life. And so that can be, of course, that can be done through the media. Usually when devotees come to me with the problems, I usually respond by a phone call. And then we discuss it like that.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. We have several other comments here. They're all offering their humble obeisances to all the Maharajas that have joined the call today. We are so fortunate to have all of you here. We have one follow-up question, probably from Radha Jyoti Mataji. Would you like to go ahead?
There is no question, Mataji, but I want to request Maharajji to let us know that when he is coming back to India or Pune, especially, so that I wanted to take his darshan. So I
Pune?
was just wondering. Yes, Maharajji.
I go to India in September. So not long after that.
Thank you so much, devotees, to all of you, my humble obeisances, to all of your lotus feet, to all the Guru Maharajas joining us and enlightening us. If there are no further questions, we can end our call and offer our obeisances to all the Maharajas that are here.
पावनेभ्यो
पावनेभ्यो
वैष्णवेभ्यो
वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः।
नमः।
जय
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 Jai.
जय जय जय
जय
जय
His Holiness Chandramauli Swami Maharaj ki jai.
की
His
जय
जय
Mother Swami Maharaj ki jai.
जय
Jai.
गौरंगा हरे कृष्ण
Nityananda.
महाराज